lied about coming in on the train. You've lied about where you're living. What are you doing in the UK at this moment in time?
As the worker has already lied about where he lives, Officer Shepherd suspects he may also be lying about his studies. Today, Officer Maggie Woodard rushes to the berths, the place where lorries wait just before boarding the ferry.
We've just had a phone call from our colleagues down at the berths, so we're going to go down there, assist with the possibility of clandestines being found inside. Well, it's two.
The clandestines have been found using CO2 probes that detect human breath.
Has that got the...
My colleagues who were working down here probed this lorry and they got a high reading. They opened it up and they found these two illegals on the side of the lorry. We're just trying to get them out now.
One chance. Not today. One chance. Tomorrow, no chance.
We've spoken to the driver. He said his last stop was at Belgium, but we think he also mentioned a 15-minute stop just along the road for diesel, so it's more than likely they are from the jungle originally.
Officer Bowley discovers they used a familiar method to break into the truck.
Right, we've opened the trailer up, and it looks like we've got a tilt cord here that the driver could have used. In addition with the seal, would have sorted this whole problem out for him, wouldn't have been in there.
The driver failed to tie down and lock the canvas sides of his freight.
It looks like when the driver was stopped, someone's opened up the side for them, they've scooted in, and then someone's done all the hooks back up again once they've got in. The driver's none the wiser. I would say 95% of the time, there's got to be someone that's sealed the vehicle back up after them.
How old?
Where do you want to go?
England.
Why England?
England. Good. Good England.
These clandestines aren't alone in thinking England holds the answer to their dreams. For them, it's the place to find work and start a new life. They'll keep on trying to defy the locking systems. On this occasion, the driver and his company were fined £1,300 for failing to secure the freight.
England good.
Two gentlemen, maybe again tomorrow. They keep saying one chance for today. They'll know, they'll just keep trying. They'll willingly admit to us that they're going to keep trying until we get to England.
The areas where lorries are searched are called the lanes. Here, Officer Barrett has a high reading on his CO2 probe and has opened up the lorry.
We could smell, as soon as we came in, the smell of clandestine.
There's another clue clandestines are aboard, the distinct aroma of people who've been living rough.
It's like the bonfire sort of smell. Quite distinctive once you've sampled it a few times.
Mark, what have we got?
There's all different, one's claiming to be Syrian, Afghan and Iranian.
This mixed international cargo is unusual, as most clandestines travel in groups of fellow countrymen.
It's a job more rewarding because that's what we're here to do, to prevent clandestines entering the UK.
Just one at a time, Judith.
Yeah.
And this is what the job's about.
Just as it's becoming another routine operation, one of the men becomes hostile.
Stay, you guys. Hey, snap. Stay. No, you stay. Okay, camera goes. You stay here. Okay, you stay here. Sit down. Wait.
12?
Might be best to stop filming for this. They're just starting to get a bit agitated, so it might be best to take the camera away just for a second.
The cameras back off to let the men calm down.
For whatever reason, he decided that he didn't want to be on camera, I think, and be... Oh, next one! Yeah, the easiest way to get rid of the camera is to kick off and get everybody to react. And there's always one, you know, there's generally a ringleader who will take charge, who's been here before and knows how it works, so they follow him. Yeah, after you.
One chance.
No one chance, not today, tomorrow. One chance tomorrow. He's very smiley.
Most clandestines are resigned to being caught and openly tell the officers how they got in.
That last one that just came out said that they entered through the side of the vehicle and there's no tilt cord on it.
So again?
If the driver had properly secured his freight, it could have stopped the clandestines from boarding. He was fined £1,200.
Sometimes you do get some people, like clandestines, that they tend to get a bit irritable if they come through again and again and again and get found all the time. But it's only the few. I mean, most of them are you know, try again tomorrow.
The team has been keeping an eye on the restaurant. Now they're ready to pounce.
Immigration, can you stop what you're doing, please? Put everything down. Stop what you're doing, please. Put the knife down, please, sir.
An employer can be fined up to £10,000 for every illegal worker they hire.
Just follow the colleague round. The team are continuing to sweep the rest of the building to make sure that there's nobody either in the basement or in the other floors. Immigration! Hello, immigration! We're all setting them in the sterile area and then we're going to process them one by one.
Officers search the premises for any evidence that will identify the workers.
What we found is that the gentleman told us that he has some identification, so he's presented to us an asylum registration card. What we'll do for now is take some basic details, go through to the safe area, conduct some further checks, and then we'll see what's going to happen from there.
Just explain to her, we'll get you or another interpreter back on. There's nothing for her to worry about. She just wants to sit there while we do our checks.
This lady here, she's on the tourist visa, but she's obviously working in the kitchen. She's got the white apron on. She's going to be arrested now on suspicion of working in the UK illegally.
The names of the employees.
It's not the first time they've been here. The employer has been caught hiring illegal workers before.
Yeah.
They work here, just a couple of hours, or help me a couple of hours times.
How many days a week would you say?
About twice, 2 or 3 nights.
2 to 3 nights a week?
Yeah.
I will be speaking to you shortly about the status of your employees, okay, and your business. Okay, so if you don't mind just hanging on here for, it'll only be a short while.
Officer Flaherty and the team won't leave until they discover who is legal and who is not. The enforcement team has doubts about another member of his staff.
Well, just at the moment, I'm just asking the gentleman some very basic details about the identity that he's presented me, and roughly how long he's been in the UK, maybe what his status is. How long have you been in the UK?
I think 2 years, 3 years.
2, 3 years. What's happened with your application?
So I can understand. Yeah.
The application finished?
I can understand.
Are you speaking Sorani?
Yeah.
Kurdish? Okay.
The team can call on interpreters when language becomes a barrier.
Sorani, so how much does he actually get paid for working here?
Straight through, Sean.
هي 2 ساعات الدفع والهرب. نعم 2 ساعات 6 ساعات يشتغل.
The employees we're currently dealing with, which doesn't pay.
Yes, sir. £10 per day. Can you ask him what documentation he showed his employer that he was allowed to work?
Yeah.
Hello. No.
The owner pays no tax or national insurance for this worker and gives him only a fraction of the minimum wage.
Do you want to come with me? I'm just going to check your fingerprints, okay?
The team wants to find out the worker's status in the
Right
UK.
finger. No, this one.
They scan his fingerprints and send them for analysis to a national database. The results will come back in minutes.
Left one.
Do you have any evidence that they have right to work in the UK?
I asked them for their insurance number and all these things.
Right.
I'm just going to give you a quick search around your headdress, okay?
The lady, Fahim Anjum, she was found working in the kitchen.
She only came today. She's not working in such.
She was in the kitchen.
She was in the kitchen, but she doesn't work here.
She was wearing an apron in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, she might be just trying to make some nana for or something like that. I don't know.
For who?
Maybe I was not here, so I cannot answer the question.
So she wasn't working. She may have been making naan.
The fingerprint results confirm the worker is from Iraq and is here illegally.
Ismail, listen, I know you're upset me, okay? Okay? Ismail, I'm arresting you on suspicion of working illegally in the UK. Okay, you're not obliged to say anything which you wish to do so, but it may harm your defence if you don't mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Okay, Ismail? For your safety of mind, okay, you're a little bit upset, I'm going to place you in cuffs. Do you want to put your hands out in front for me? Put your hands out in front. Thank you. Good night.
No, mate, it's okay. At the end of the day, he's led them to this. He's employed them illegally. He's put us in a position now where we've got to arrest him and put him in a police cell. This is a real cost of illegal working. People in tears, whether it's illegal people like this or legal people who sometimes the businesses go to the wall because some individuals undercut them by thousands. You know, it all ends in tears for somebody. Unfortunately for these people tonight, if they didn't taste them, they're going to end up in the night in the cells at the very least. So yeah, I'm going to go back in there now. I'm going to tell him about a penalty. He's facing a fine of £10,000 per person. At the end of the day, you haven't done your adequate checks. You've employed people illegally, which resulted now in 2, possibly 3 people being arrested. We have people now detained in the back of the van who I need to get to the police station. If you want to sign it, sign it. If you don't want to sign it, I'll leave it and record it that you haven't signed.
Without the passport of the woman found working in the kitchen, it's harder to prove that she shouldn't have been there. But help is at hand.
You're the brother-in-law? Right. So she's over here with a passport and etc. Would you be able to get hold of that passport for us? Have you got it here?
Yeah, I got her passport.
Can I have a look, please? Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, it will be. Let's grab it from him.
Excellent.
The woman's relative claims this was her first time at the restaurant. She was only there to learn how to cook.
Unless it's a very, very unfortunate night where she picks the only night that we visit to be learning how to make a curry in the kitchen.
That's very unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate. Or perhaps it's not the first night that she's been in the kitchen.
I'm sure. She just arrived, we can see that.
Well, I know she arrived 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, so
yeah.
I mean,
but it is very unfortunate.
The enforcement team don't believe her. She is removed back to India. The man from Iraq was also sent back home. The employer is fined £20,000. It's nearly home time for the team. They've checked more than 100 trucks during the night, but still they haven't found any illegal entrants.
You got something? Hang on a minute, I've just got in. I'm going straight up though. 420, 430. Let's go in. As we put the probe in, the readings started to rise quite dramatically immediately, which is usually a good sign. It means that someone might have been in there for quite a while. CO2 builds up, so it doesn't take long for it to be drawn into the probe. Go straight up and we get excited then.
Is that all the way down?
The lorry's load is industrial drain pipes.
They look like they go all the way through though. You got?
Yeah. How many can you see? 3 so far.
Oh, I can smell. You can smell.
There's pipe that goes all the way along, but there's a slight gap to one side, and I think they must have crawled along there. And from what we can see, where it dips down, there's some shoulders and some tops of heads. We think 4, 5 possibly at the moment. One of my colleagues is down there speaking to them at the moment.
It's pipe work all the way down. There's 4 just hidden at 10, 15 foot down on the further side. What you're going to have to do now is take the curtain off at the side, get a better picture of it. Just can't really see from here. Need a bit more light.
There he is.
Are you all Iraqi? Are they all Iraqi?
No.
You? Yeah, you sure? You keep smiling. We're just trying to confirm anybody's actually in here at the moment and their nationalities. Take some photos in situ to show how they got in and where they are hiding for future reference. And then we'll try to get them down safely. Just you next with Charlie. 1 minute, wait.
Next step is to match their photographs to the names. The majority of these people do not carry documents at all because they don't really want to be identified with their country. And also, a lot of them don't actually have documents anyway because of the countries that they come from.
This is what it's all about, actually. You feel like you've done your job. This is what we're here for, to try and find these people. You know they're trying to get here, so you get a a buzz and a satisfaction when you do finally get you searching all night long to finally get at least someone. You know it's been worthwhile. That's 5 more people who haven't been successful on this occasion. They will no doubt try again at some stage, and hopefully we'll be able to thwart them again, and they won't be successful next time. But it's what we're here for, and if you don't catch them, you don't feel like you're doing your job. So this is a nice one. This makes you go home on a bus now and go, yeah, good one last night.
The driver was fined £500 and the owner of his vehicle a further £1,500.
Today in Birmingham, Chief Immigration Officer Kevin Jolly and Immigration Officer Tina Ooligan are on their way to a registry office. They're about to arrest a Jamaican man on his wedding day.
Who's been an overstayer since 2001. He did ask for approval for the marriage, but was informed at that time that he was not lawfully in the country. He has received a letter. In the letter, it's absolutely clear that he should return to Jamaica and obtain a correct visa, and he hasn't done it.
When the man contacted the Home Office seeking permission to marry, he revealed himself as an illegal immigrant. It's been 8 years since his visa ran out. Now he lives with a British woman, her 3 children, and their 6-month-old baby.
Obviously, his intention is to, having obtained the marriage to a British citizen, submit some form of application so that he doesn't have to go back to Jamaica. But this is unfair to all the other people who do go back to their countries, do request visas, do get visas, pay the fee, and then return lawfully.
Although the groom is in the country illegally, his relationship is genuine. The Home Office granted his British wife approval to marry, but explained he still needed to legalise his immigration status, or he would face arrest.
That's him, that's him.
He hasn't gone back, and thanks to his application, the team know exactly when and where to find him.
Yeah, do you want to come with us, sir? If you could just come over to the vehicle with me, please. You've received your certificate of approval for marriage, but with that certificate of approval, you was given a letter stating that it wasn't leave to remain. Do you understand? You can now be arrested under Schedule 2 of the Immigration Act. So you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. If you come with us now, we'll explain everything, OK? I understand it's your wedding day, but we need to have a chat. So if you could get in the back for me, please, watch your head.
Officer Jolly has to break the news to the guests that there'll be no wedding day.
All right. I'm very sorry to cause this problem, but unfortunately, the gentleman needs to be spoken to about his immigration status.
To the immigration office at Solihull.
Has he got documents to say everything is in order?
No, he hasn't.
No.
She was obviously stunned. Here she is turning up, expecting her friend to be married, a particularly joyous occasion, and it's all gone wrong.
You were sent a letter saying that because you was being granted the certificate, doesn't automatically give you leave to remain in the UK.
Why are you taking me? No, I don't understand.
Because you're now under arrest under Schedule 2, which means that you could be removed from the UK.
They're written to me saying that they received my application.
For the certificate of marriage, that's all.
Yeah.
You haven't made any further applications to extend your stay. And because you've already overstayed, it makes it harder for you to get the application now.
Yeah, but I did get it.
You haven't been granted any further leave. So you're still an overstayer, which means you're not legally present in the UK.
Yeah, well, the Home Office grant me the permission to get married. I've been through that process.
Yeah, because your fiancé is a British citizen. We can't stop a British citizen choosing who she marries. But what we need to do is make sure that as the groom, you've got the right leave. And at the moment, you haven't got that.
That doesn't make sense to me because I sent for an application, yeah? You could have come to me there and then and find me.
When the application was sent out, the certificate of approval, there was a letter attached to that stating that you are liable for detention and removal, and I have a copy of that on here. Listen, nothing's set in stone at the moment. Let's go back and we'll have a chat, OK?
You have to make sure your status in the UK is lawful. It's your responsibility, and In the end, when circumstances like these occur, it's your responsibility. It's nobody else's fault, it's yours.
It doesn't look good for the groom. He'll have to convince officers Jolly and Hooligan that he's made every effort to sort out his immigration status. Otherwise, instead of going home to his fiancée and children, he could be detained and sent back to Jamaica.
At this moment in time, as far as we're aware, you are not lawfully in the country. You are an overstayer. It is an offence.
If you grant me the certificate of approval, so you could have refused me there and then I say, okay, no, we cannot grant you permission on the basis that you're an overstayer, so you need to do this and you need to do that. Why put me through that? Grant me the permission and then at the same time pick me up from there. That does make sense to me.
Another alternative is to come and take you from your home, but the situation is you may well be there with children. Now, what happened today, you have to admit, was the most gentle way of taking you out of the situation. Why didn't you just go back to Jamaica a long time ago, save yourself the money and all of this nonsense, get a visa and come back with a visa?
But it's not really just one thing to say, okay, this was the reason, definitely reason. But things just get dragged and dragged and dragged. And I say, okay, there's that you need to do something about yourself now. And I started to do it.
Sure.
And I did it. And luckily, it was granted to me. And I said, well, God, I must be lucky.
Yeah.
But you don't feel so lucky.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, nice to have met you. I'm sorry it was under these circumstances, okay? And all the best in the future.
He's very compliant, truly hurt by the way the situation's gone. But it's something that's going to have to be done, so it's better to do it now rather than later.
After 2 weeks in detention, the man is taken to Gatwick Airport to be put on a flight back to Jamaica. It's a far cry from the dreams he had on the day of his wedding.
We make all the plans. Can you imagine that? Just imagine that. So we got food, we got the art, we got music. Everything was being prepared. And everything just fell flat. So it's just a waste in every aspect that you look at it. And it never has to be like that. I didn't want to go back like this. I don't mind going back. I know going back would have been a part of the process, but not like this.
There are 2 employees. They'll have to prove they're allowed to work in Britain.
You speak English? Little bit? OK, come and speak to me. And then you can come back and finish this lady's nails, hopefully, OK?
You'll have to finish him if he doesn't.
Well, I'll have a shot.
The owner of the nail bar is not at work. He applied for asylum back in 1999, but his case is caught up in red tape. Until it's decided, he can run a business, but could face a fine if he's employing illegal workers.
Good morning, immigration.
We're from UK Border Safety.
He's not at his home address either, but his girlfriend is, with their young child, and their new baby the team didn't even know about.
I looked at your case this morning before I came out, and there's nothing on the Home Office systems that say you've given birth to a baby, OK?
The woman is a failed asylum seeker and has broken her bail conditions. Her partner, the owner, has a new asylum claim. It's unlikely they'll be removed from the country.
At the moment, we've got it down that you should have been reporting and you're not reporting. Now, you must report, otherwise we'll come back and arrest you, all right?
Okay. Do you have a wallet or some ID on you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
At the nail bar, one of the workers claims to be a student at Oxford Brookes University.
Do you live in Oxford still?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you travel here from Oxford to work?
Yeah.
Yeah? And you're from Vietnam, yeah?
Yes.
If checks confirm he has a student visa, he'll be free to carry on working.
Step out there. Stand over here for me.
But he hasn't bargained on his colleague immediately undermining his story.
Do you have any ID?
Yeah, in house.
In house? Yeah. Do you know the address?
In London.
Same address as him? Yeah. He lived in Oxford.
Yeah.
You said you lived in Farnborough.
Officer Shepherd steps in to establish whether the student lives in Oxford or at the owner's house round the corner in Farnborough.
And how is it that you get to Farnborough every day?
Yeah, in train.
On the train? Have you got your train tickets there? So have a quick look at those?
I have a rail card.
Oh, yes. So where is your rail card?
in the house.
In the house? Which house is it in?
In Farnborough.
In Farnborough.
Officers at the nearby house don't find a rail card or any evidence of commuting from Oxford. They do find plenty of the man's belongings, enough to suggest he lives there.
What language do you speak?
Also in the house is a woman who claims to be just visiting.
And what's your nationality?
I think Malaysia.
You're from Malaysia. Have you got any ID? Any identification?
Her friend.
Right, you're a friend of a friend, are you? Right, okay. Where's your passport? Passport.
The lady insists she is here for a 2-week holiday and says that a friend in London has her passport. But the team won't take her word for it, as they suspect she's another employee of the nail bar.
I want to see some ID, otherwise we're going to arrest her and take her away.
Yeah.
And then we're going to look to remove her from UK. We'll just let her know that we're going to be searching the house from top to bottom. So I won't be too pleased if something turns up.
Okay.
At the nail bar, Officer O'Leary has found out the status of one of the 2 Vietnamese workers.
It appears he made a claim for asylum which was refused in 2001, and since then he's made an application to remain as a spouse, and that was refused in 2002, and since 2002 to today's date no further contact with him. So do you know what's going to happen now? You understand some English, don't you? You've been here 8 years now, haven't you? 8 years. Okay. You need to come to the police station. Yes? So you're under arrest now. You, me, police station. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, should we go? Yeah. Right, come out. Yeah.
The man is taken to a police station to be questioned, but is later released on bail conditions while the UK border agency try to get hold of his travel documents.
Mind your head on there, okay?
Yeah.
The enforcement team in Farnborough are allowing the remaining nail bar worker to finish with his client. Home Office records back up his story. He has a valid visa to study at Oxford Brookes University. But Officer Shepherd wants to know why he lied about where he lives.
His story isn't quite adding up at the moment, so I want to chat to him a little bit further.
At the nail bar owner's house, officers are questioning the Malaysian woman who was claiming to be on holiday in the UK. Now it seems she's not just here as a guest.
Could you clarify, could you ask her to clarify, does she mean boss is the lady who is next door, in the room next door, please?
With the woman referring to the nail bar manager's girlfriend as her boss, the team have heard enough.
If you can tell her for me that I am now, on the basis of the information she's given me and the fact that she cannot provide me with any evidence of her identity or lawful basis to be in the United Kingdom, I'm going to arrest her on suspicion of overstaying in the United Kingdom. Could you tell her that for me, please?
The officers need the woman's passport to confirm her status. She is now claiming her boss, the owner's girlfriend, is keeping it for her. With no one telling them a straight story, all the officers can do is search until they're sure it's not in the house.
My colleagues are up at Rectory Road at the moment, and I say you've got all your bags there and your suitcases and all your things, and it appears as though you're living there, which isn't what you told me earlier. So should we start again? Yeah. Should we start all over again? Yeah?
As the worker has already lied about where he lives, Officer Shepherd suspects he may also be lying about his studies. And she wants to know if he's working more than the 20 hours a week permitted to students.
Now, how many hours are you working today, Nguyen?
Normally not excess 20 hours per week.
That wasn't my question, was it? How much do you get paid?
Normally 90 per week.
And have you got your pay slips on you?
No.
Where are they?
It's cash in hand.
It's cash in hand, is it? You pay tax?
No.
No, what I'm doing again, I'm waiting a moment for your file to be pulled from Oxford Brookes University, and they're going to tell me all about what it is you're doing up there, okay? And when the last time you went was and everything else. Could be the call now. Hiya. All right. Okay, thanks, mate. Okay, Nguyen, do you know what your file says? You went to Oxford Brookes this month, didn't you, for a meeting, and they told you that you had been withdrawn from the course, hadn't you? Because you hadn't stayed in contact and you hadn't done the things you should have done. So you are formally not at Oxford Brookes any longer because they have withdrawn you from the course. So why did you not tell me that? OK, you've lied about coming in on the train. You've lied about where you're living. All your stuff is up at Rectory Road. I put it to you, you're actually working here full-time, which is why you have not had the time to go to your college, and which is why you've been thrown off the course. What are you doing in the UK at this moment in time?
Writing a thesis.
No need. You're not on this course any longer. So for that reason, I'm going to arrest you on suspicion of working in breach of your student conditions in the UK. OK, you'll come to the police station and we'll interview you further there and find out exactly what's been going on with this. OK?
No.
Well, that is what is going to happen. All right? So one of my colleagues is going to give you a search.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, you're arrested, mate. Stand up.
Huh?
You're under arrest.
He's lied to me since we've got in the shop, quite frankly. So we'll take him down to the police station, we'll interview him further about the suspected offence, and we'll go from there.
That's it. Follow my colleague. Out we go. Lovely.
Officers looking for proof that the Malaysian woman has stayed in the UK illegally have found her passport. And they're not happy about being strung along by the owner's girlfriend.
That's her passport.
Her passport here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right, so why are you letting people into this house and sleeping here if you don't know who they are? Why have you got this lady's passport? Here's her passport now, and it clearly shows that she entered the UK via Heathrow in June 2006, which means that she's overstayed her visa now by nearly 2 years. So with this, we'll be removing the lady back to Malaysia.
The woman's passport is marked to signal that she has overstayed in the UK. A week later, she is put on a flight back to Malaysia. The worker, who came to Britain on a student visa, admits in interview that he no longer studies and works more than the permitted 20 hours a week. He is detained for 5 days before being removed back to Vietnam.
Got a key.
With the owner of the nail bar apparently unavailable, he sends his girlfriend to shut up shop. Despite being in the UK illegally herself, and even though she's misled the officers, she will not be arrested today.
So now I can go?
No, you can lock the shop up. Yep, and we can go.
The UK Border Agency only split up families with children in exceptional circumstances. Instead, the team will wait for the outcome of the owner's asylum case. If his application is refused, the whole family could be sent back to Vietnam.
All right, Anne, thank you so much. Yeah.
In the meantime, the owner is fined £10,000 for employing 2 illegal workers.
And it is a big fine, and it's a big fine for the very reason that, you know, they shouldn't be doing it, and it's sending a message out to other people who are employing illegal workers. You know, we are out to combat it and to deal with it, and hopefully it'll send a message out to other people doing the same thing.